succulent growers, it's Lynn. Now this is just a bit of a quick update video on what the cacti look like after the coldest week and a half I have ever known since 2009, 2010. We have had a week and a half of minus temperatures practically not only every single night but also during the daytime as well, and I've been very worried about the cacti in the polytunnel as well as the succulents, because although I have a heater, this amazing BioGreen Phoenix heater that we have set at 5 Celsius. So normally when the temperature drops to 5 or below, this kicks on and it prevents the air temperature inside of this polytunnel from dropping any lower than 5. Then it goes up to about 7 Celsius and then it will cut off again and then come back on again when it drops to 5. However, the past week and a half, those of you guys that are living in the UK and Ireland, and also many parts of Europe, certainly the UK and Ireland, because we're not used to these extreme cold temperatures, have experienced the coldest winter since 2009/2010. And in 2009-2010, a lot of these cacti and succulents that I've got here, I had inside my house anyway. So they were all overwintering indoors. I've never experienced such a cold winter where I've had to overwinter them out in this polytunnel. And I was very nervous because although this heater is great, it's been that cold, -5 of a night time, and that's Celsius, by the way, guys, -5 Celsius. And the polytunnel heater has been struggling to keep the temperature at 5 Celsius. In fact, a lot of the time it's only been hanging around the 2 Celsius mark, 3 Celsius at the most. And the one morning I got up and it was -5 outside and it was just 2 Celsius. The reading in the polytunnel from when I could see from reading in the kitchen, and I thought that's way too cold, and I went up and I could hear the heater was on in the polytunnel, and it's been practically constantly running to keep at that temperature. And it's been nervous because I should have really got some extra additional heat, probably with a gas heater or something, but I didn't want to go into the polytunnel to check what the plants were like because I didn't want to disturb the thermostat. Today is the first day that the temperature has suddenly shot right up. It's actually 11 Celsius now. And as you can see, the heater is actually probably switched off for the first time it's been able to in about a week and a half. And I thought, right, I'm going to have to brave it, come into the polytunnel and see what the cacti look like. Because if it's been struggling to keep it at 5C and it's been 2 to 3C in here, that is below the average ideally for cacti and succulents. But as you can see, guys, I'm very relieved, very happy. I've actually, before I decided to film this, I had to go and have a quick run around and check that all the cacti were okay, and they're looking great. None of them are showing any signs of distress, not even any brown spotting. In fact, they all look absolutely great, to be honest with you. Still got lots of blooms on the succulents there, and very happy to see my string of tears plant that is blooming as well for the first time. Looks absolutely great. All the slumbergeras, the buds are getting more bigger on them as well. All the other cacti, absolutely fine, no signs of any markings. Sometimes my Echinocactus, for example, this one here, went very scabby about 4 winters ago because it was a little bit too chilly for it, but it's absolutely fine. And happy to say I made sure all of the cacti, except for the epiphytes obviously, were all totally dry this year. And I'm so glad I did, because after having one of the hottest summers I can remember, well, 125 degrees Fahrenheit, over 50 Celsius in this polytunnel most days during the summer, and now the very coldest winter I can remember for a long time, since 2010 anyway. I'm happy to say they've all got through this very cold spell absolutely perfect. And I know sometimes cold damage can sometimes show itself up a few weeks later, but I do know if any of these had got really hit by the cold, they would have turned to mush practically overnight. Absolutely great. In fact, they're looking brilliant. And as you can see there, the buds are still going strong on all the slumbergers. These will probably normally be sort of flowering now, but as it's been so bitterly cold, it's put back the blooms. But they'll be blooming in January, so something to look forward to in the new year. all the Lophophorus, they're very cold hardy anyway, no problem there. And all the Trichocereus, and even my Matucanas I was a bit concerned about. And I did actually throw bubble wrap as a bit of fleece cloth over these three Matucanas, because they ideally like about 7 Celsius, but they've overwintered fine at 5C, my Polytunnel, before. But as I say, there's a big difference between 5C and 2C, that it was at this at some time during the week with the temperatures, the Polytunnel heater struggling to keep it to 5. So guys, if you live in the UK and Ireland, you've all been experiencing this extreme cold weather, and thankfully now it looks like it's going to be quite mild for the next week or so anyway. And let me know in the comments down below how your cacti have coped through this. Do you heat your greenhouse or your Polytunnel or your conservatory, anything like that at this time of year? I know many growers who don't heat their greenhouses here in Northern Ireland at all, but even they had to get their little heaters out, or some gas heat or some form to give additional heat, because has been extremely cold. But as you can see, all the cacti are great. However, I haven't yet gone into our unheated little white Polytunnel, because we have our agaves in there and I've never overwintered them without heat before. And our white little Polytunnel is completely unheated. It dropped to -4 in there about 3 days ago, because I could see the little thermometer hanging on inside. I put the flashlight in there. It was on -4 inside the white little greenhouse, and I have no idea how they are going to be. Agaves are very cold hardy anyway, but I'm going to go in and have a look. I've got my carnivorous plants in there as well, and also my very winter cold hardy aloe that is a cold hardy one. Come on guys, come and join me. I'm actually nervous and to see what I'm going to go in to see here, because I have no idea what they're going to look like. Right guys, just open this up now. First thing I can see is lots of water on the floor. That's not a good sign. Thank goodness. These are the agaves here. My agave americano, absolutely fine. Bit of water on it. There's obviously a leak in this little white greenhouse. Hopeless for the winter, but okay for the summer. But it looks okay. And my other agave here, absolutely perfect. And my big agave filifera with a lovely sort of frilly edges on it here. The hair's coming off. These three are absolutely perfect. And those of you who know agaves, they're very cold hardy, but I've never overwintered them before without any form of heating. And obviously it did drop to -4 in this unheated greenhouse. Now on this table. Now the good news is, this is my aloe striatula. It's a one aloe that is extremely cold hardy. All my other aloes are in the Polytunnel, so they've been safe, but this one can take up to -12. I've even heard -18, so this was fine at -4. A little bit of water on it, obviously, because the roof is leaking, so that's no good to put any cacti as such in here, but okay for ones that can take the damp and a bit more cold, such as this aloe striatula. Absolutely fine, looks great, so that's been no problem. One of my Calanchodrege Montiana's mother of thousands, that's gone to the dogs, as you can see, but that was one. I've got loads of these anyway, so I just kept this in as a bit of a test, but that's completely gone to mush, way too cold. And 2 spider plants, commonly known as Chlorophytum comosans, 2 that I potted up. I've got plenty of these as well as a test. These are completely gone as well, way too cold. Succulent cutting here, that looks perfectly okay, so that just proves how hardy that is. My carnivorous plants, I've got a couple of pelargoniums as well. These have been fine, so no problem with them at -4. And my carnivorous plants, all doing okay. These are very cold hardy too. Sarracenias and my other Venus flytraps. These are ones I've grown from seed a few years ago, and in fact they look absolutely great, so no problem with them with the cold temperature. So happy days guys, such a relief. And thank you so much for watching. Just thought I'd do a quick update, and do let me know if you've had any cacti or succulents that have not coped well with this winter so far. But for me, such a relief. So if you haven't done already, don't forget to subscribe and do click the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. And apologies for everybody who follows me on Instagram. I haven't posted in ages, but I shall be back up and running very soon and catching up with everything. And also, do check my website out, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all a wonderful, warm day ahead.